Hey, welcome to the show. You would think 30 seconds and I can see if it's working. All right, there we are. We are live. Awesome. Come on, mouse. Let's work. Let's work. There we go. Reconnected. Welcome to the show. oh my goodness. Welcome to the show, everyone. It is January 12th, 2024. Let's let's get into it. I'm your host, not running for office, just running my mouth. Tom Coffee. So, did you hear about the latest gem from the land of international relations? Yeah. The U.S. is apparently planning a grand heist, a 21st century piracy extravaganza, according to the Russian Foreign Ministry. Yes, because nothing says diplomacy like reaching into someone else's pocket and taking what's not yours. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I thought privacy was reserved for the high seas, not the high-stakes world of geopolitics. But hey, who am I to argue with the experts over at the State Department and NBC? They say what they want to seize up to 300 billion with a B in frozen Russian assets to help rebuild Ukraine. I mean, talk about Robin Hood on steroids. Take from the rich, give to the war-torn. But folks, let's not kid ourselves here. This isn't some benevolent act of charity. This is a geopolitical chess move, and the pawns are sovereign assets. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova called it out, saying the U.S. is trying to create legal cover for what is essentially stealing. And you know what? She might be right. Because last time I checked, taking someone else's stuff without permission still frowned upon in polite society. Here's the kicker. The U.S. would never stand for this if the roles were reversed. Can you imagine Russia or any other country swiping $300 billion from Uncle Sam's piggy bank? No. We'd be crying foul faster than you can say hypocrisy. It's like the golden rule of international relations. Do unto others as you would have them do unto try it again. It's the international golden rule of international relations. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, unless you're a global superpower, apparently. And it's more like do unto others and hope they don't notice. Let's not forget, after imposing sanctions and freezing Russian assets, the U.S. is playing the Robin Hood card. It's like saying, we'll take your money, but don't worry, it's for a good cause. I can already see the movie tagline, Stealing for a Better Tomorrow. I wonder when that will be the title of a presentation at the WEF. In all seriousness, folks, we need to step back and question the legitimacy of such actions. We pride ourselves on democracy and the rule of law, but arbitrary asset seizures, that's a slippery slope we should be cautious about sliding down. So, my fellow Americans, let's remember that what goes around comes around. We wouldn't tolerate it if the shoe were on the other foot. Let's keep our moral high ground, if there's any left, and leave the piracy to the movies, not our foreign policy. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee Nuance Show, the best censored commentary and news show live right now. Flame on. Thanks for joining me, and I do want to say thank you to the people that helped me this morning. I was trying to do a test stream to see if I could get this Rumble Studio thing working. It was not successful. It's semi-successful, but there were some audio issues. I don't know. It was just not working out. So I'm going to keep working on that. But we'll get there eventually. We're one step closer. Today's a Friday, so it's a Fact Check Friday. I got a good fact check for you today, coming later in the show. It involves the battle between Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel. And I'm going to set you straight. And some of the media narratives that you may have heard about this are not exactly based in reality. So I'll get to that in a few. But first up, I want to talk about this piracy that we're doing now. Yeah. The Russian Foreign Ministry criticized a U.S. plan to seize $300 billion in frozen Russian assets for Ukraine's reconstruction, labeling it 21st century piracy. Moscow warned of a harsh retaliation, accusing the U.S. of attempting to create legal cover for stealing sovereign assets. The move follows a Bloomberg report stating that the Biden administration supports legislation allowing the seizure of Russian assets. The frozen assets resulted from sanctions imposed after Russia's military intervention in Ukraine in 2022. Russia vowed significant countermeasures if its assets were taken, claiming the West is struggling to find alternative funding for Ukraine. G7 leaders are expected to discuss a legal theory enabling the seizure of Russian assets. This is exactly what it looks like. Why is my camera? Why am I way over on the side? I don't know. This is exactly what it looks like, folks. People are tired of Joe Biden printing money, right? Mortgaging your future, your kids' future, your grandkids' future, so he can send billions and trillions of dollars to Ukraine. So the grand idea they have now is, let's just steal it. Let's just steal it from Russia. We would never put up with this. And I don't expect Russia to put up with this either. Is this making the world a safer place? No. Are there going to be big consequences for this, in my opinion, very shady global policies? I think so. So this is it is what it is. This looks like modern day piracy. And I don't expect Putin to just go along with it. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Kind of interesting. But now let's talk about what's behind me. The weather. So the National Weather Service warns of a bitter cold Arctic blast sweeping the U.S. over the weekend. Originating in the west, it will bring record cold temperatures to northern plains, Midwest, and south central United States. A storm system accompanying the cold air will bring snow to western states, potentially reaching the mid-Atlantic and northeast. Blizzard conditions and tornado threats are expected in the Midwest and southern U.S., with higher risk of power outages. National Weather Service advises caution and preparation for extreme cold. So that's what they've been talking about all week here in Portland. Is it going to rain? Is it going to snow? It did snow the other night. What was it? Tuesday night. There was snow on the car when I came back from a meeting I had at night. It melted pretty quick. It was gone in the morning. But they say it's supposed to start snowing any minute now here in Portland. And we have pretty mild weather here compared to the rest of the country. I know the rest of the country, it's going to be a whole lot worse. Normally, I don't really think that this is big news to talk about. But this particular storm, it's going to impact a lot of the country this weekend. If you hadn't heard of it, I just wanted to bring it to your attention. I kind of hope it starts snowing big flakes right away, because I would like to go take a walk in it before it gets too bad, just to kick off my weekend. But I did go pick up groceries for the weekend yesterday, so I'm all set. I encourage you to do the same if the forecast in your area is the same. But next, I've got an update from something that I've talked about on this show before. Yeah. Well, the U.S. Embassy in Bogota has issued a warning to Americans traveling to Colombia, cautioning against using dating apps due to 8 suspicious deaths in the country in the past 2 months. Woo! Criminals are reportedly using these apps to lure victims to public places like hotels, restaurants, and bars where they're drugged, assaulted, or robbed. Most incidents have been reported in Medellin, Cartagena, and Bogota. Wow, really? They happened in the 3 biggest cities? What are the odds of that? The embassy has observed an increase in reports of such incidents over the past year. Thefts against foreigners in Medellin have risen by 200% in the last trimester of 2023, and violent deaths against foreigners have increased by 29%, with U.S. citizens being the primary victims. The Department of State has issued a Level 3 advisory for Colombia, urging travelers to reconsider due to crime and terrorism, and specific regions, including the Venezuela-Colombia border, are designated Level 4, advising against travel there to these areas. Now, why I bring this up is for me, I went to Medellin a year ago and had a blast, and I've brought it up several times over the past year, stories about Medellin, where one of the times I brought up that the Laureles neighborhood, which is where I stayed there, was named the hippest neighborhood in the world by one of these travel groups. I did a story about a guy from the Midwest, a comedian, supposedly stand-up comedian, who went there to meet a woman, and ended up getting kidnapped, and they tried to extort him and ended up killing him. And I thought that was maybe a one-off, but this looks 8 murders. That's a pattern, That's not a coincidence at this point. So all of the nice things that I said about Medellin, I liked it, but I just wanted to caution anyone about traveling there. And as always in dating apps, be realistic in who you're matching with, right? If you're a 5 and you've matched with a 9, it might be for a reason, Just saying. Just saying. But just to be cautious there. Anyway, I wanted to bring this up as I've talked about this city in particular a number of times, and so that is an update on that. And now we've got another update. Used to this? Used to used to all this inflation? Well, Argentina's having even more. So, Argentina's 2023 inflation hit 211%, the highest in 32 years, due to measures by President Milei, including a 50% currency devaluation. Monthly inflation in December was over 25%. just below the government's 30% forecast. Milei acknowledged short-term economic challenges with around 40% of the population in poverty. He plans to dollarize the economy after stabilizing macroeconomic variables, expecting a subsequent decline in inflation despite high numbers. So this is interesting to see what is happening in Argentina. I've been following it very closely. I think the whole thing is very exciting. That we've got a world leader, the first avowed anarcho-capitalist libertarian world leader who is enacting policies, and we'll get to see if they actually work or not. You know, so much of libertarian ideology is theory, and we don't really get to see if it works. Well, they've got a serious situation going on right now in Argentina, and so we'll be able to see if these theories, if they work out this time, you know. And just because they work out once doesn't mean that they would always work out or whatever. But I think the whole thing is exciting. I am about a month away from going down there myself. So I've got my ticket, and I'll be going down to Buenos Aires very soon, about a month from now. So I'll be able to check it out firsthand. What is it like living in a place with 200% inflation? Well, I hope to tell you about it coming up. But as it is a Friday, it's a Fact Check Friday. Let's get to the fact check. Okay, so did you hear about this story? Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Kimmel? A lot of the coverage of this has been kind of nonsense, and it's been very one-sided, although all of the current stories are kind of going back on the initial claims. So let's see if I can pull up a... Let's see. Oh. Is that it? No. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Wait. Oh. I had to reset my computer mere minutes before going live. And I don't have the story up right now. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers, Kimmel. Okay. So let's go with this one here. Let's see if I can get this. That's... Is there another window? Well, where is this window? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right, so here's the coverage of Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel. They went back and forth on some things. Like here's a headline. Aaron Rodgers doubles down on debunked conspiracies. Does not apologize to Jimmy Kimmel. NBC, Aaron Rodgers offers no apologies after Jimmy Kimmel blasts him for Epstein comment. Oh, we'll get to that in a second. I'll get to that in a second. So here's what we're talking about. Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show, it's a sports show, and he made a joke about Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel has been roasting Aaron Rodgers just repeatedly, calling him dumb, calling him soft brain, calling him all kinds of conspiracy theorist, etc., etc. Well, on the Pat McAfee show earlier this month, someone brought up the Epstein files, and Aaron Rodgers said, you know, a lot of people aren't going to be happy if those come out, including Jimmy Kimmel. I will play the clip for you right now. In In fact, why don't I'll just play the clip. Here we go.
Bring it up, Foxy or somebody back there.
Seats on it.
Bring up Super Bowl 58.
You'll see it.
The emblem, put on the screen. And then bring up 57 and 56.
Does that have something to do with the Epstein list that came out?
Feels like.
That's supposed to be coming out soon.
Look, this guy's been waiting in his wine cellar. Yeah. I've been waiting in my wine cellar for this thing.
A lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, are really hoping that doesn't.
All right. Obviously, a clip from this particular program was run on Jimmy Kimmel's show. Whenever Aaron brought up the list, and then Jimmy mocked him for it. Aaron has not forgotten about that, but here we are, sitting right in front of that nice bottle of scotch. What do you say? I'm waiting to celebrate something.
Oh, yeah.
He's been waiting
That's
for
the one.
You've been waiting for
Hey, I'll tell you what, if that list comes out, I definitely will be popping some sort of bottle.
Okay, so that was the clip. And I should have said Aaron Rodgers was in the middle. He was the guy in the middle. He's an NFL quarterback. But all he said is that Jimmy Kimmel would not be happy if that list came out. Now, the coverage of this afterwards was incredible because across social media and across a lot of news platforms, they made the claim that Aaron Rodgers was making the claim that Jimmy Kimmel was on the Epstein client list. Well, I just played the clip for you. He didn't say that Jimmy Kimmel was not on the Epstein client. He didn't say he was on the list. He didn't say that. What he said is that he wouldn't be happy. News about Epstein, Jimmy Kimmel wouldn't be happy. Now, why would that be the case? Why would anyone think that? Well, because Jimmy Kimmel has been torching anybody that talks about Epstein as some kind of crazy conspiracy theorist, right? That's not a conspiracy, right? This guy was involved in sex trafficking. Looks like a big blackmail ring. And for whatever reason, Jimmy Kimmel just likes to go after anyone that brings up this topic at all. Now, here's an interesting side note that none of the corporate media ever seems to mention. Like, could there be a reason that Jimmy Kimmel is so sensitive to talking about Epstein? Is there a reason? Well, let's just take a look at this story here. This is the Hollywood Reporter. This is September 13th, 2019, so this has been in the news. Adam Perry Lang, the prominent LA chef whose Hollywood restaurant, APL's, industry backers include friend Jimmy Kimmel. And Joel McHale acknowledged Friday that he'd worked for the late Jeffrey Epstein as a private chef. Oh, so this guy who Jimmy Kimmel is in business with was Jeffrey Epstein's private chef. Well, that being the case, if you're in business with his former private chef, you might not like news of Epstein coming out. I can't read Aaron Rodgers' mind, but seems fair to conclude that Jimmy Kimmel would not like the Epstein client list coming out because it's bringing up Epstein into the news, and he's in business partner with his private chef. I don't know. But this is my challenge to you. So the claim was that Aaron Rodgers said that Jimmy Kimmel was on Epstein's client list, and it's not true. There's no evidence that he said that. You can watch what he actually said. He didn't say that. He just said Jimmy Kimmel wouldn't be happy about the list going public. And I don't think Jimmy Kimmel is happy about the list going public. That's my take on it. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. But I think Jimmy Kimmel is just a garbage person and a garbage comedian, and I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's smart, and I think he just says whatever they tell him to say. You know, at some point, you would think at some point you would have enough money that you would say, you know what, I'm not going to just say all the crap they tell me to say. But that's me. Maybe other people have different opinions on that. Anyway, not a fan of Jimmy Kimmel. Can't watch his show. He's not funny. And I don't know why anyone watches him, to be honest. But that's it. You know, Jimmy Kimmel goes after Aaron Rodgers for somehow being dumb. I think Aaron Rodgers scored over a 1,300 on his SAT. That's not dumb. That's getting up there near the top 10% percentile. Not quite, but getting close. That's not dumb. I don't know. I don't get it. Don't get it at all. Anyway, that's the fact check for today. Lastly, we got to get to some good news to take us into the weekend. So here's the good news. In 1992, East Palo, Alto had the highest murder rate in the U.S. with 42 homicides in a population of 24,000. City affected by the crack cocaine epidemic took various actions, including increased police presence and community initiatives. Over 31 years, the murder rate has dropped by 100%, making East Palo Alto the safest city on the peninsula. Local efforts include a neighborhood watch organization called Just Us, contributed to the decline. The community's resilience and collaborative approach involved nonprofits, faith-based groups, business leaders played a crucial role in this transformation. Current Mayor Sharifa Wilson highlights the community's care and concern for their city. So this is a big deal. Now, what did they do? How did they get the murder rate down? They had increased police presence, neighborhood watches. Wow. Two things that have been being put down in the last couple of years. Kind of since all the 2020 George Floyd riot, nationwide riots. You know, police bad. You know, don't you dare call in suspicious activity because, you know, the person you call in could be of a different race or something. You know, there's lots of that nonsense going on. Well, they didn't do that in Palo Alto, and now they've made the safest community. They really turned things around there. So we have some more evidence of what it takes to have a safer community, and I hope the rest of the nation can follow suit. I actually live in a neighborhood. We have a neighborhood watch, and I applaud it. I think it's great. A lot of people are very hesitant about calling things in now that everything has become weaponized. You know, you certainly don't want to call in any kind of suspicious activity, you know, unless the person is like, unless it's maybe an elderly white couple walking their poodle. Well, maybe you can call that in because then you won't be called a bigot or something. But outside of that, a lot of people are afraid to call in any suspicious activity. They didn't fall for that in Palo Alto, and now their city is safe. So we've got some more evidence of what can make a safer community, and I hope we all get back to that and have safer neighborhoods. That's what I'm for. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Stick around for the after show. I guess tonight I will do a Midnight Americano. Midnight on the East, 9 p.m. on the West. I'm probably going to try a couple more test streams to see if I can get this studio thing working. So hopefully we'll get that fixed. If not, I'll get some more data on what doesn't work, right? So we're getting one step closer. Anyway, stick around for the after show. I'll go through all your comments. Hope you all have a beautiful weekend. Stay safe. Have a hot cocoa. Until then, peace. Okay, that is not right. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Okay. Live chat. That's... Okay. Huh. See if I can get the YouTube chat up here. There we go. There we go. What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking in. I appreciate you coming in live right at the beginning. That's awesome. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you hung out this long. Nice to see you, Apothecary John, Natasha, Hairwood Stephen. Good afternoon. Is it snowing out by you, Stephen? Not seeing any snowflakes yet, but they keep teasing us in the local news that it's just about to start. Tasha's heading out for groceries because Texas doesn't do icy very gracefully. Yeah, my big thing is, like, I think it's kind of fun to... Oh, man, what is this doing? There we go. I feel like I can drive just fine on ice. I can drive just fine on snow. But other people can't. That's the problem. So it's not that I'm scared that I'm going to wreck or anything like that. I just don't want anyone running into me. That's the big issue. No opinion on Aaron Rodgers, but if he's giving Jimmy Kimmel a hard time, more power to him. Yeah. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is interesting. You know, Jimmy Kimmel slammed him as being like MAGA, right? And Aaron Rodgers says, I'm not even a Trump guy. I don't even really into politics, you know. He's into, sovereignty about his own body and, like, being forced to take a shot. He's against that, but he's never said that he was a MAGA guy. He never said that he was into Trump, but that doesn't stop Jimmy Kimmel from just saying it on his show to, I don't know, the 30 people that watch his show. What can I say? It's probably a couple more than watch my show. So, yeah. No snow here, just cold. Yeah. Okay. Well, it could be coming soon. Hairway to Steven. Could be coming soon. Ox says Jimmy Kimmel Epstein made a list and everyone checked it twice. Found out who was naughty. Not nice. I like that. That's a good twist on an old classic there. I like that. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I don't understand Jimmy Kimmel. I don't, like... He's not a stand-up comedian, right? He's never done comedy like that. And he's not very funny. And now all he does is just repeat talking points from what they tell him to say. It's sad, actually. But I don't know. I mean, he's doing all right. So good for him, but I don't know. Doesn't seem to have a price on dignity. Whatevs. whatevs. Anyway, that's all I have for y'all today. I hope you all are doing super fantastic, awesome. I'm going to try a couple times more with these test streams, see if I can get it working. Each time I try, I figure out something else that I didn't know before. It's amazing how much there is to know, what box to click, all the settings. It's a bit overwhelming, but eventually we'll get it sorted out. Anyway, I'll try to be back tonight for Midnight Americano, doing the late night show. If you're up and snowed in, come hang out. Love to see you. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. You all be awesome. Till next time. Peace.